once there's more than one of you, you will get stopped all the time, which is awesome. Like, I'm happy to take photos, I'm happy to see people, I'm happy to do the whole thing.
Check the Alberta Ghostbusters. Yeah, use our hashtags. Girls who bust.
It really started through the internet. All these different fans started forming Ghostbusters franchises. For us, it's the Alberta Ghostbusters.
So you guys ever see this movie before? I love when people come up, when they want to ask about the equipment. I can talk endlessly about everything I build, so I don't mind.
There's no manual necessarily on how to build these. You kind of have to, figure it out as you go. I was able to get on these runs that fans like me were making from their basements or garages. So if it's buying injector tubes or whatever the case may be, I was able to buy parts from around the world. But ultimately, it's still done my way.
Certain parts I was actually calling old suppliers of electrical pneumatic fittings, asking what their old stock was like. People without much of a web presence, where I would communicate with fax is how I found some of them.
I own a production company locally in Calgary, so I have a whole bunch of gear that we can set up and make the big production of. So our events went from little table events to truss and video walls and TVs and lighting and you name it. So they grew exponentially. It's actually quite funny. People will come around the corner and go, "Oh my God, what is all this?"
So it became very important to our group to really contribute to our communities. And the way we've done that is by donating to the Alberta Children's Hospital as well as the Stollery Children's Hospital. It's about the kids. Like, when you go to these conventions, there's a lot of children who come up, and we all grew up as Ghostbusters fans as kids, or at least most of us did. So it was a really natural thing for us.
When the girls work the booth and you see little girls walk through the crowd and they're like, "Oh, Lady Busters!" and they get so excited and they run over, and then there's somewhere they don't even want the guys, they want the girls in the picture because they're so excited. It's empowerment for them to see that you can be a girl and still be fandom and still be a nerd and still enjoy dressing up and kicking butt and taking names, right? And being female and doing it, that's important.
The highlight is always, bar none, having these little kids' faces light up and say, "Ghostbusters!" and then they run right to you and they're just so stoked. And sometimes it's not just kids, sometimes it's adults too. They'll see you down the street dressed up in this stuff and they start honking and, "Who are you gonna call?" And it's just, everybody is so happy, and really that's what it comes down to. It's really infectious. Like, if your batteries were low that day, they're gonna be on overload by the end because there's just so much happiness and positivity.